How would you like to get a Sega Genesis Mini now? It's definitely possible and can look just like what we're looking at right here with this awesome new front end, Blast 16 for the Raspberry Pi. So yes, this is running on a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus at this moment, and I am extremely impressed with what I'm seeing here. This has really reinvigorated my passion for Raspberry Pi projects. RetroPie is cool, but it's kind of getting a little stale for me, and I think this is pretty sweet and has a pretty cool history as well. So before we dig into this image, see how things work, let's take a look at the developer and where you can download the base image from and a little bit more information concerning Blast 16. So here's the website. Tripware is the developer. He recently released version 1.0.0. A new version is supposed to be being released within a day or so that incorporates some new stuff with it, and this is really awesome. It's built for a MegaPi case, the RetroFlag MegaPi case. Everything works with it out the box. The power, the reset buttons. You can use the RetroFlag controllers. You can use 8BitDo, Xbox 360, the Hyperkin USB controller for the Sega Genesis. Everything just works. This is a very simple user interface / front end, whatever you want to call it, and it works great. So he has a lot of information here. You can download the base image. Everything works like as if you're, setting up a RetroPie image, but it is different. This is not RetroPie. So at this moment, it does support Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Master System, and Game Gear. There's some 32X stuff being incorporated in the next build, so keep an eye out for that. We definitely will be doing a lot of content concerning this. I'll be doing another video showing you how to get everything set up. But the cool thing is there is this user manual. This is what I used to get that image set up. Didn't take me very long. Yes, this manual is like 18 pages, but it's very simple. Everything that you need to know is here. There's nothing left to mystery. As long as you follow this manual, you'll get everything set up. Explains all the file formats that you need to use for your ROMs. What the actual Blast 16 is, which states right here it's an emulator front end inspired by the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. Currently supports Raspberry Pi only. So tons of information. I'm not going to read through all this stuff, but it is really cool. Highly recommend getting this set up with a MegaPi case and a decent Sega Genesis style controller. I am using the RetroFlag Sega controller, and it just worked. I didn't have to set up anything. If you use the Bluetooth controller or this, you just have it powered on, plugged in, and it initializes everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. But you'll burn the image just like a RetroPie image to an SD card. I use WinDisk Imager. Like I said, we'll go through that process in another video. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I thought it was really awesome. We have favorites, tons of stuff. I'm trying to find the hotkeys because that's really important. It makes things a lot easier for you when you're using this. So let's find that real quick. We'll be taking a look at all the options in the system in a second here. You can configure your controllers if you need to, but you shouldn't have to if you're using one of these style controllers. Here are the hotkeys. Select and start or your home button on the 8BitDo controllers toggles the RetroArch menu. Select plus left or right increases or decreases your save state slot. Select plus up or down increases, decreases the volume. Select plus A saves your state. Select plus B loads your state, but it's pretty damn cool because you could load your state in the game screen where you're selecting your box art for your game. Really awesome. Select and C when you're in a game, quits out of RetroArch and goes back to Blast 16. Select an X, reset your console. Select and Y, toggles fast forward. So tons of information here. All the controllers that are currently compatible that just work right out the box. This is really cool. All the file formats, the directories, how everything needs to be formatted is listed here, making things extremely easy for anybody to set something like this up. Really cool. Oh, and you can delete games from the menu in a very easy way. I thought that was awesome. And a backup and restore thing. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. I'll put links to all this stuff in the description so you don't have to worry about all that and make it very easy for you. But this is the case, the MegaPi case. We've done content on this in the past. To me, this is the best Raspberry Pi case available. It's just so sleek looking. It looks awesome. If you're a Sega fan, it's definitely a must-have. Power light, power button, reset button, 2 ports for controllers. What more do you need? Really awesome case. Comes highly recommended. It's only, what, 24 bucks? And like I said, this is the controller that I'm using. The Retroflag USB Sega controller. It works great. It feels great. The only real criticism I have of this controller is it's like Japanese style. It's a lot smaller than what we're used to for legit US version controllers, but it's still very comfortable and works pretty well. So I'll have links in the description if you want to grab any of this stuff, links for everything that I recommend for building an image based on Blast 16. But the developer, he did share some notes with me just a few moments ago before I started recording this that I thought was extremely interesting and wanted to share with you guys. So he states Blast 16 began in November 2017 as an NES or SNES mini-like interface for Android. Really cool, right? And like I said, this is where the history is kind of neat. In September 2018, when Sega announced they were kicking at games for the Mega Drive Mini and they were doing it in-house, he thought he could offer the menu to Sega. He immediately thought, great intuition here, that it could only be M2 behind the emulation. Nobody knew for sure at that moment, and that's true. We didn't know at that time when they announced it. It was like, holy crap, the Sega Genesis Mini is going to be awesome. So he tried to contact them. In November 2018, he was able to reach their CEO, Naoki Hori, a very kind man, he's got to say, who fell in love with his front end and offered it to Sega for the Genesis Mini. That is sweet, right? But unfortunately, there were important deadlines and it wasn't possible to integrate Blast 16 and make sure it worked perfectly on the device that, on their setup without delaying the product. They would, they'd have to really test his coding, his user interface, the front end, all that stuff. So Sega finally discarded it on February 2019, the same day they announced the release date. So I thought that was pretty neat, man. It could have been a possibility that this would have been on the Sega Genesis Mini. So this is what could have been. I think that's pretty awesome. After that, he decided to make it a Raspberry Pi front end, trying to make it as simple as possible. And this is simple as possible. Wow, you'll see in a second. Also, Retroflag has the MegaPi case with shutdown and reset. Everything's compatible, so that's cool. So he went to public beta early May. During this period, a few nice additions came from beta tester suggestions, Bluetooth support being the most important one. I didn't think I could do it, but I managed to make a friendly Bluetooth connection system. That is huge. That led me to make sure that everything could be done inside the front end with a controller without having to go to the Linux command line or the RetroArch interface, updating, backup, restore, copying games, BIOS, and deleting games, all accessible via a controller through the front end. Last but not least, and I think this is pretty cool, background music is written by a video game musician, Loop and Pixel. Channels available here. I'll put links to that, put links to the Blast 16 developer. All the information is going to be there. Tripware. So let's jump back into the actual system here and take a look at some of the things that we could do. I'm in love with this. How it's animated, how it looks. This looks like something that could be on the Sega Genesis Mini. I'm in love with this. This is amazing. So from here, I didn't set up my controller, nothing. All the button layouts, everything is perfect. So the one cool thing, like I said, save states. See, if we press B, we can access any of our save states that we've saved and load them up from here. That's awesome. This is like the Sega Genesis Mini. Holy crap. So that's pretty cool. You can hit favorites, hit the C button on anything. And those little stars, like I think they like twirl around every once in a while. Yeah, there you go. I thought that was pretty cool. So whatever you set up, whatever you hit C on, it sets it to favorites. Now, if you hit up or down, it cycles through the game list or your favorites. Thought that was pretty cool. Highlights all your favorites. Really awesome stuff. So there's that. Like I said, Sega Genesis Master System, Sega CD. Now, if we hit start, we can go into settings. Settings, you can change different languages here. Really awesome. Really accommodates a lot of people in the world. I thought that was pretty sweet. Logo. This is a big one right here. You see that Sega Genesis logo up there that we've been looking at? Well, what if you want the Brazil logo? What if you want the European logo? What if you want the Japanese logo? You've got options, and I think that is awesome. You could turn the music off or on. You do have scan lines if you want those off or on. TV filters off, monochrome, composite, S-video, and RGB. Really cool stuff. We'll really dig into that when we do an install video on this, but I just want to give a rundown of everything because, man, I'm extremely impressed. Inputs, you could change your input mapping if you need to. Connect a gamepad, multiplayer config for multiplayer games. Tools, you could delete games, you could back up your system, restore. Pretty awesome stuff. We'll dig into that a little bit more later. Open RetroArch or go to the command line. Really cool. If you go to delete games, you can go through, select some games to delete, hit the C button, like whatever you want to delete. You're not going to accidentally do it because it's going to confirm it a few times. Like, I don't really want to delete these, but if I hit A, it's going to say, hey, do you want to? Nah, I'm not going to delete that. So that's really cool. You can do that from the user interface here. Credits, he has all the information for people involved. There you go. Take a look at that. The music, the developer, special thanks, all that good stuff made with love. That's what I'm talking about here. Reboot or shut down from here. But like I also said, you do have those controller hotkeys that you can use if you need to. So that's definitely a cool thing. So let's get out of that. Jump into a game. Let's find something, right? Just get into Sonic 3, load that up. Love how everything's animated and looks. So this is the only thing. I'm using Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. That's what's recommended for this. It does take a few extra seconds than what I'm used to load the game, but I think the trade-off is well worth it. It's only a few extra seconds to get into the game. So here we go. Sonic 3. Might as well check this out. And I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier. I heard that he was working on a Super Nintendo, or he's going to be working on a Super Nintendo and NES version of this in the future. And I'm hoping so. I hope you guys support this guy. Really take a look at all his stuff because this front end is no joke, man. This is really awesome stuff in my opinion. Really, really cool. I know that, you know, getting this set up on the Mega Pi from Retro Flag is going to be awesome. Nothing that you really have to do. You're just adding your games and your box art, and I'm going to help you guys get all that set up. Don't worry about that. We're going to be working on some of that in the very near future. But that's all you have to do, essentially. Burn it to an SD card, load up your games and your artwork, boot it up, and it reformats your artwork. Like, even if you don't have the correct size, the file format, it'll fix things up for you. I think that is really awesome. So there we go. You saw some gameplay with this. Let's go ahead and exit out, select and see. We'll take you back out. It does take a moment to load back up into the front end. Not a huge deal. Look at that. I love how the box arts just like pop back up. Really, really cool. So let's see. Alex Kidd and Shinobi World. What other? Golden Axe Warrior, Sega Master System game. Let's take a look at that, and then we'll quickly take a look at a Sega CD game. So this is just like a real quick build I put together. You know, I would probably have a few more games on this. I don't think this is something where I'd want to have a ton of games, but you know, you have that option. I think maybe like my top favorite 100 games would be pretty cool. I think that would definitely be awesome. Get this set up with some Sega Genesis, Master System. Oh, there we go. Master System, Sega CD, all that good stuff. Just get a little bit of everything in here and get it rocking. Pretty interesting little game right here. I've never played this. What the heck is this? Is this Legend of Zelda for the Master System? Wow. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be working on some stuff with this. Let's get out of this. Ain't got no time for that. Pretty interesting game, though. I think I have Sonic CD on here. Let's load up Sonic CD real quick. Look at that. Boom. Pops right back in. Really slick. Let me see. Where's my Sega CD? There it is. Let's go ahead and jump into that. Like I said, if you wanted to load a save state, if you had one, you would just hit that. So let's jump into that. We'll actually make a save state and then see how that looks, because I haven't used the save states yet. So let's let the game load up. Save states would be select and A. So we're going to do that in a moment. Press the start button. Yeah, Sonic, we're in it to win it, dude. I couldn't wait, man. I'm up extra late tonight recording this because I was just so impressed. Somebody on my channel had posted a comment. I'll have to look at who it was, but I'm sure you'll know who I'm referring to. It was only one person. So the person, I'm sorry I can't remember your name. If you see this, you know you're the one who suggested this or brought it up to me. Really do appreciate it, man. You guys definitely keep me in the loop on some awesome stuff. I think I'd seen something about this a while ago, but for whatever reason, I think I was busy with something else and didn't really realize what it was. But I'm really glad that it was brought up and I took a look at it again because, yeah, this is really cool. Really love it. A lot of people will, like to set up their Raspberry Pi and do system-specific builds. That's what I was kind of into. That's why I did like the PlayStation build. Man, we need a PlayStation case. I saw somebody comment that too on another video. When are we going to get a PlayStation Raspberry Pi case? PlayStation runs extremely well in the Raspberry Pi, and we have done a few PlayStation-only RetroPie builds. I thought that was pretty cool, so definitely need a case for that. Dude, why do I keep hitting that thing? Holy crap. Freaking rookie here. But, if you want to get this set up, you're going to, if you don't have a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus is going to be like $35. If you're looking at putting a nice handful of Sega games, including, a bunch of Sega CD games, which are pretty big, you could probably do a nice build with a 64 gigabyte card or even 128 gigabyte to play it safe. With all the box arts and the games, I really don't think you would use up too much space. Just those Sega CD games that kill it. But definitely, you don't have to spend much. I'll put links in the description for the stuff that I recommend that I use. If you want to check that out, they are affiliate links. They help out the channel a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It is appreciated. You don't have to, but if you're willing to check it out or you're just buying anything through Amazon, if you hit my links, we do get a very small, and I mean a very small commission, but it helps the channel keep going. We use a lot of that stuff to buy products for reviews and all that good stuff. So just wanted to say thank you. So there we go. Oh, let's do the save state. Select an A, save the state. Now let's exit out. Let's see if this works. This is the one thing I did not test, but we got to take a look. Okay, load. What? Dude, that is awesome. Do you see that? It took a snapshot. We could just load it straight up. Let's see how that works. I'm sure it takes a second. It's not instant, but it's still pretty damn cool. Did this load correctly? Don't want to, there we, oh man, that is awesome. Did you see that? You just got to remember what your save state button is, and then you could load it from the front end. That is awesome, guys. So look forward to more content concerning this front end, Blast 16. Really do appreciate the developer, reaching out to me with a little bit more information and sharing stuff. Like I said, he's got a new version coming out in about a day, I believe. And if things go well, looks like he's going to be working on some newer system-specific builds in the future. So definitely look forward to that. Check it out. Links will be in the description. With that said, really do appreciate you guys. I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-byes and boom. Bye.